All right, all right. I am live. We are live right at the Skill Acceleration Bootcamp Virtual Studio. Where the drum rolls. I'm going to be waiting for a few minutes because I know the link just dropped on the Telegram channel. We have our trainer and speaker right at the studio with me, of course, virtually. And I cannot wait to get right into this. So I'm just going to be waiting for more persons to join. I'm certain the link just went out now. So when we have about 100 persons, then we can start. And then I'm certain that the number is definitely going to go high by then. Okay, so for those of you who do not know me, my name is Victoria Wana. Oh, you all have not started joining. All right, so let me just wait. So I do the introduction once I'm sure that we have persons live with me. We are live. Awesome, awesome. So I can see the comments. Yes, you said glad to be here from Blessing. It's great to know that you all are joining in now. This is the Skill Acceleration Bootcamp Studio, and today I'm stepping in for Augustine. Augustine is supposed to be doing the moderating today for this section. Unfortunately, he's having a little bit of network issues from his end, but he's definitely going to come back to take the reins, I'm sure, before the end of this section. So I'm just waiting. Blessing, it's good that you go call your fellow participants, go call your classmates now to join. I'm certain they are just getting the link, and a lot of them are still trying to find their way to this venue called YouTube. So I'm just going to wait, count down, few minutes, and then we get right into this. I cannot wait. Personally, I'm so excited for this topic because we're going to be talking on something really, really important. Whether you're a business person, you're a career professional, or whatever it is. Oh, Olamide says I'm here. Yay! We have Olamide here. And yes, Blessing, I called your name. Blessing, hi, Blessing. Amazing. Yes, now I can see the Sabi gang. I was wondering, Sabi do not slack. Why are they not live yet? And then I can see all the fire and blazing and thunderstorm and everything they are bringing to the table. Oh, yes, bring it on. Amazing. We don't arrive. Yes, you have. Yes, you have. I'm just going through the comments right now, and it is, of course, as energetic as ever. So welcome again. I've said this like how many times, but that's because you were not live with me. Welcome again to the Skill Acceleration Bootcamp Studio. Drum rolls, drum rolls. I am Victoria Wana. I'm standing in for Augustine, who is supposed to be moderating this section. And right in the studio, we have our facilitator all the way from Canada right here with us, virtually, of course. And as you join this training room called YouTube, I'm certain that you're here with your paper and your pen, your pad and pen to jot down, because trust me, this topic, this subject is something that I want to learn from. I don't know about you. Personal effectiveness. I mean, whether you're a business person, entrepreneur, career professional, student, whatever it is you're doing, you need to be able to learn from this section. And so I'm going to be introducing our guest for this section, and he is, so just take your time. I'm going to be reading and dropping the bomb of his bio. He's a health and safety environmental practitioner with a unique blend of advanced education, baseline technical skills, and relevant experience in asset technical integrity management. Wow. And major accident prevention. You know, about 20 years of diverse work experience in the oil and gas industry. And in addition to several vocational qualifications, yes, of course, he holds a bachelor degree in mechanical engineering, MSc in Process Safety and Loss Prevention, both from the University of Sheffield, England, and a PhD in Strategy, Program and Project Management from the Schema Business School in France. And amazingly, we have someone like this who is well exposed, well experienced, and of course knowledgeable to tell us about personal effectiveness, because he's leading that life himself. And so guys, you know the way we do it the Sabi Gang way. I want you to start dropping the celebration, the horns, the toots, the claps, the fire, the brimstone, the thunder. Bring everything right in the comment. Let him start feeling the love from wherever he is. Let him start seeing it in the comment section right here. Are you ready? Sabi Gang, are you ready? Because I'm going to be putting up our speaker for this section to join me right now, as he joins me for this section. Good evening, sir.
Good evening, Victoria. Good evening, everyone. Oof, so much energy, huh, Victoria? Good evening, everyone.
It's such an honor having you here today, and thank you for partnering with Skill Factory Africa on this bootcamp.
It's my pleasure.
Okay. Amazing. So over to you, sir. I'll be going off stage, and yes, over to you. Thank you.
Excellent. Welcome, everyone, wherever you are streaming in from. As already introduced by Victoria, I'm Seun. I'm glad to be here with everyone. I'm here to share my own perspective on the subject, which is called personal effectiveness. I hope everyone can hear me clearly. I'm monitoring the comments on the other screen, so you can hear me clearly. Just do a oops or a shout out or whatever it is you do. So yeah, we're going to be discussing personal effectiveness. Like Victoria quite rightly said at the introduction, it's not like a tangible subject like some of the ones that you've had. It's not like, for instance, learning how to write a business plan. This is something that affects every area of your personality, your business, your vocation, and it's something that cuts across all of us. And in my intro, as you can see on the screen, I hope everyone can see my slide. Yes, thanks, Ogene. Hola. I see that you said you can hear me. I said on there, it's a journey rather than a destination, and I would explain as we go on with the presentation. So I am glad to be here. It's an honor and privilege to be here. I would like us to take this as a discussion. It's Sunday afternoon, where I think most of you guys are. Where I am, it's Sunday morning, Sunday afternoon. And let's take like a discussion, because as you will find, which I'm going to be passing across in this presentation, no one should be able to say that they are there ultimately with personal effectiveness. If you're already good, you can get better. And if you are even better, you can always improve. So there'll be some tips that we can all learn from this. So without much ado, we go right into the presentation. So personal effectiveness, it's a compound word, so to speak. It's a word that comprises of two elements. First is the personal, and next is the effectiveness. Like we espoused in this presentation, everything we do, we have to start with a kind of a definition. So what do we define as personal effectiveness? You will see that as we sort of glide along in this conversation, proposing to all of us this Sunday afternoon, Sunday morning, whatever it is you want. In the outline of this presentation, I will share some of my own story, some of my journey as regards to personal effectiveness. I put it there as key because it's kind of a mouthful to say. I'll put us through some guides from books that I think are good books, my own personal story, and my reflection. You'll be hearing that word a lot. One of the things I will try to pass on in this presentation is the benefit of reflection, to put and imbibe things from your own unique perspective, to ruminate on it and form an opinion, and then be able to deliver and even improve that opinion as time goes on. So like I said, you hear about me, a bit of me, my story, and what is my own journey. We all have a journey. Everyone. Oh, Ginika said they can't really hear me. Is it better yet now? Okay, so anyway, I'll continue. I hope the sound improves as we go along. So yeah, and in my presentation, you'll see some key points. I will start showing some of them. If you see this flash bulb on my presentation, it means that I perceive that this is a slide we need to reflect upon. We need to think seriously about this. If you see at the bottom of each of my slide, you see a line. You see a line with the key messages, and then I will espouse this as we go on. So personal effectiveness, we're going to start with the definition, like I said, domains and perspectives surrounding personal effectiveness, some important concepts related to personal effectiveness, and we'll put out the idea of why you are your own best investment and what does success at personal effective look like. I see a comment from Uzoka saying zooming on the slides. I think this particular slide, it might get better as we go on along. So at the outcome of this presentation, if we don't get anything from all the long conversation, what I would like to pass on is these 3 points: self-awareness, and some knowledge and understanding of some of the concepts that are related to personal effectiveness. Also, I'd like to pass on to us why personal effectiveness is important. And hopefully, if I'm effective at this presentation, some of these points should have been passed across. I can't see the comment section any longer. I will still live. Okay. Yeah. I go on until I hear otherwise. I wonder if my mic is streaming okay. So a definition. I'll tell you why a definition is important with an anecdote. Victoria, is everything okay? Are we live? Can you all hear me clearly?
Yes, sir. So from my end, I can hear you. I think the only thing is this: the slide is a bit far. If it's possible to zoom it a bit closer, but I can hear you.
Okay, so let me try that.
Okay.
That's a bit too much.
Okay, just a bit more. Yes, yes.
Is that better?
Yes, sir.
So maybe I leave it in this mode as opposed to presentation mode.
Okay, okay.
But in the comment section, is it better for everyone else, or do I go on?
So please, let's know from the comment section. Can you hear him very well, and can you see the slides? I think the other way is better. Just switch the presentation style. Okay, yes, this is good.
Okay, so I'll just go on. Definition. Why is it important? Like what we started to discuss is a bit of a soft skill, is a soft body of knowledge. So there are different perspectives to everything. But I said I will share a little anecdote on why definitions are important. So as was already said, I work in oil and gas. So I was on my floor someday, and I happened to go into the coffee room. And while in the coffee room, I had some, what I would say, younger staff having a discussion. And somebody made a strong opinion, like management always ignores the truth. They like to hide away from the truth. They they don't like to face up to this truth. And I normally did not want to interject, but I thought, okay, that might be an interesting way to. So I was like, I was sorry to break into your conversation, but the word you said just intrigued me. So, what is truth? And he said he defined it as something that is a common knowledge that everybody knows, everybody's aware of, and I started to relate to him that, do you know that once upon a time it was true that the earth was flat, and it was common knowledge, it was widely acclaimed by books and body of work. So truth, the point I was trying to make from that particular conversation, is transient, is based on what we know at that time. Truth may evolve as we get more information. Truth may evolve as we grow. So that is why it's always important to start with a definition. You might find that it's easier to put or adjust your perspective once you get a definition. Victoria, please, could you let me see the comment section on my second screen? That is on the second name, because it has gone off. It's been interesting to see and perceive how the audience is, if they are getting what I'm saying and how this is going, and I might adjust accordingly. So we try to define what personal effectiveness is. If I go back to the presentation, and it's in two parts. First, it's personal and it's effective. So we try to define what is personal. It's personal. And we said from Standard Oxford Dictionary, something that is affecting or belonging to a particular group rather than something else. Our personal fortune was estimated as for a reason. Something relating to an individual's character, individual's appearance or private life, especially in a hostile or critical way. When you say, nothing personal, used in that context. But what we're trying to say ultimately is that when you say something is personal, it's unique. It's to that particular individual. It is to that unique individual's perspective or story. So that is the personal in personal effectiveness. It is unique to you. And this is where we start getting a bit touchy, because effectiveness is synonymous with success. It is the degree to which something is successful in producing a desired result. If you come back out of that definition a little bit, you have to think about the word desired result. So that means it is something that is desired, something that is an ideal. And some of the synonyms, some of the words we could use in place of effectiveness is success, efficacy, productiveness, fruitfulness. And I think this is clear what I mean by effectiveness. If we start to put these words together, we come with the word personal effectiveness, and then we can evolve a definition from those two previous slides that we've just looked at. It is how much to which a person, someone, is successful in producing a desired result. So it is their own outcome. It is their own result. It's not their family's result, even though it can be implied. It's not the society's desire. It's not the employer's desire, even though your employer's objective should be kind of related to your objective. But what I was trying to point out with this evolved definition is the perspective therein. It's personal. It is your desired result. So if we look at the definition of personal effectiveness, we could say it's making use of all the resources that you have at your disposal. This could be your talents, your time, your strength, your energy, to master your life or your work in a way to achieve your desired goals. If we back up from that definition a bit as well, you see that there are domains. So there's a work domain, there's a life domain. So it goes to the point that we were making at the beginning of the presentation, to say that personal effectiveness is a soft skill. It improves whatever other skill you already possess. Personal effectiveness is essentially how you manage yourself. So if you're effective in managing yourself, your personal effectiveness rating is seen as high. And if you are not as effective and you are on the journey to mastering yourself, then you are in a position where you can improve or enhance this personal effectiveness. Is everyone with me so far? I'll pop in and look at the comment section later, but you can express whatever it is that you are following or what you think I should change. So remember, we started by saying that when you see a light bulb, like something like this on my presentation, it means that this is a slide I want you to reflect upon. I want you to think critically upon. So this is one of them slides. So it's a question on this slide. It says, what does it mean to be effective? What does it mean to be successful? If you replace that word. And the meaning and parameter may differ for different people, for different fields of endeavor, for different occupation or even leisure. And then I put forward some examples with varying degrees of complexity. A football striker, what does it mean if it's effective? A traffic warden, a teacher. Myself, for instance, am I passing, if I'm in the place of a teacher today, am I passing on or as much as I would like to pass on in this conversation? What does it mean for a parent to be effective, or a government for that matter, or a religious leader or an individual? Let's think on that, and as we go on, we would look at this in more depth. I will exit a bit. I would like to see the comment section again to make sure that I'm being effective here. Victoria, if you can help me, I need to come here to pop up a bit so I can see if people can get what I'm passing on. So that I can see it, you can just maybe let me know. But okay, so I go on. And I take you back a bit into the discussion of the domains and perspective around personal effectiveness. And what are the domains of personal effectiveness? It could be life. It could be your relationship, your family. It could be work. It could be career progression. It could be your business success. It could be financial, personal well-being. Some people are concerned about their weight, for instance. It could be spiritual. Whatever domain that you are deciding to focus upon, you can be effective as a person in that domain. In this particular slide, again, we go on to ask the question. So if there are several domains, is it possible to be effective in some domains or some spheres and be poor or ineffective at other spheres? For instance, a parent who focuses only on academics and not character or emotional development. Or a loving and caring parent who is always there for their kids, but who is not financially capable of providing or funding the kids' aspiration. And then we further develop the idea to say, does it matter how you get stuff done? Does your methodology matter? And if I take you back to that slide when we talked about those different professions, if I may put it that way, and how they can be effective. And we'll say, what if you're a prolific striker? For the folks who are listening, who are soccer or football fans, imagine a prolific striker, but who plays rough, who injures others, who uses expletive remarks, who is selfish in his play. Is it still considered effective? Imagine a fraudster who has no visible income source, but is very, very financially stable. Is he or she still effective? I would like us to reflect upon this and maybe pop into your comments in the comment section. I may pause in a few moments to review those comments and maybe respond or blend that in. Or maybe I should do that right away, actually, and see how that how this is being received. Oh, okay. So I'm back seeing it now. Oh, some comments popped up, but they left again on this other screen. So I would like to get your perspective on this. Does it matter how you get stuff done? I will share mine in any way. So first off, we said, can you be effective in some domains and be ineffective in others? Yes, you can, definitely. Does it matter how you get stuff done? Does the way you do it, the way you achieve the desired goals, does it matter? Yes, it should matter. But the reality is that it's a personal decision based on your own value system. So it is your decision. And the key learning from this particular perspective is you may succeed in some areas and still unfortunately fail at others. If you think on that for a minute, what that is saying is you may be personally effective in some domains of influence, but ineffective in other domains. So if we aggregate your personal effectiveness as a person, or if you do the reflection and aggregate your personal reflection as a person, can you still say you are effective? Is there a way you can give an hierarchical importance to these different domains? What do I mean by that? Is life, family, relationships, is it higher, for instance, than business, than financial, than personal well-being? So these are questions that we're supposed to make our own judgment based on our own value systems. And like I mentioned previously or at the start of this presentation, this is not like a hard and fast principle or book of work that we have to put forward. It's based on your perspective, your story, your desires, your goals as an individual. And there's some important concepts that are closely related to personal effectiveness. We will not have time to cover all this in some of the time allowed, but if you ask direct questions linked to any of this, I may go and address them a little bit further. But the ones that you see that are in bold are some of the ones that we're going to go a little bit deeper in this conversation that we're having this afternoon. And the others, depending on your questions or comments, I would go into them. So first off, we're going to look at benefit of focus. We're going to look at the essence and importance of prioritization. And this is a key one. Next up, we're going to look at self-awareness, the need to be able to reflect personally on your own journey, your own values. The need and benefit of personal accountability. But there's so many other concepts that we may not naturally go into today, and some of them are self-management, the concept of choice and cause and effect. If I ask a question just to get a feeler of how we know how important this is, maybe in the comment section, it would be interesting to see if you can make an estimation of how many decisions an individual makes on a daily basis. How many decisions do you think you've had to make from when you got out of bed, 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock this morning, till the time it is where you're at right now? It'll be interesting to see that perspective in the comment section. And then you find out that our value system and our thoughts process and the importance we give to subjects affects these decisions. And these decisions we make end up being our habits if we take them for long enough. And these habits in their eventuality determine our future. So that's why importance of choice and cause and effect is important. Other concepts, cost-benefit analysis. What is the benefit? What is the cost you are willing to pay to achieve that benefit? I described already habits and the outcome trajectory when I was speaking about choice. And then opportunity cost. This is a term from economics, but is totally relatable to personal development. What is that cost you are ready to pay for a particular opportunity? And then because you are not, you don't have, you have finite resources, sometimes you have to make a balance, you have to make a choice between going one route or another, or is it paying for that cost or paying for something else? So all this is opportunity cost. Time management. this is an excellent subject that everyone is schooling at this one. Self-discipline. Nothing on this list you are seeing that you can do without self-discipline. And then the benefit of the principle of delayed gratification. I won't, suffer is a strong word, but maybe not the word I'm looking for, but maybe you can permit some pain right now. You can allow some denial to self or your desires at the moment to achieve a greater objective in future. And what does SWOT analysis tell you? It's trying to, when you're doing your personal reflection in your own alone time, and hopefully you are being truthful to yourself, you're looking at what are your strengths, what are your weaknesses, what are the opportunities that your story presents you, and what are the threats currently that can affect you based on your habits or your choices. So it's a strength, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats analysis. This might be a good time to pause before we go into prioritization, and I'll pop into the comment section to see if I'm being felt or if I'm just talking to myself. Victoria, if you are close, you can give me a feeler because I can't see the comment section on my screen, strangely. I'm going to try to come out of this a bit. And, yeah, so hello. So I'm waiting to see if there's any comments coming in or something you disagree, something you don't agree with, some concept you'd like me to go over. Please feel free to drop it into the comment section. Okay.
I think we're good. We're good. Yes, I'm also popping up the comment on the slides. I don't know if you can see it on the screen. I'm just picking some of the comments so you can see them.
Okay, I can't see them, but I will take some time to look at it.
Can you see it now?
Oh, yes, now I can.
Okay, so maybe we should just proceed. Yes, okay. Just proceed, and with for other times you can just be checking the comments later on.
Okay, so the slides are back on, but oh, John says he's following up. Great. I don't want to just be. It's part of being effective, guys. So we need to have some kind of feedback. So I go on. Like I said, we'll go into some of them, and next one we're looking at is prioritization, and it's a big word that it has been evolved to mean that you are doing the most important things first. On another way, it says that on your to-do list, you start with the most important ones. But I'd like us to reflect. Are we thinking enough to ensure that that to-do list contains all the important stuff? Because if it's not even, if what we consider as important is not the most urgent or important thing to us, maybe we are not using our efforts adequately. So this is the ability to understand that some things are urgent, some things are important, some things are urgent and important, and some things are just absolutely essential, and to understand the difference between all this. And the way you understand the difference between all this helps you to regulate your emotions, your thoughts, even stresses upon yourself. Maybe you have to learn to say no a lot more to free up time so you can have enough bandwidth to focus on your priority items. Again, I will pause a bit and give us a little anecdote of how I do my own prioritization in some sense. So I've learned not to pick up the phone immediately I wake up. Why is that? Or even if you are not in what I call my inner circle, and I mean that by being family, if I'm not at home, if you call me first thing in the morning, really early, just as I'm waking up, I may not answer the phone at that time. Why is that? I like to rise up. I like to spend my own quiet time. Depending on what kind of religion you are, that could mean we have some kind of prayer. It could also mean meditating. It could also mean
thinking on what am I doing today? What am I focusing upon today? If I don't do all this and I pick up that call and you already are pointing me in direction of maybe your own goals or your own story and saying, oh, I want you to do this for me. You may knock me off my own particular plan. So to be able to manage myself adequately, I get into myself first before I take in outside influences, before I put on the news, before I go into my phone. So to have my own agenda. So I'm not saying you have to do that, but just trying to give us the benefit that you need to put your priorities first. Ensure that you are focusing on what should be your own focus. And I put in a quote on there by someone called Johan Gott, and he said, things that matter most must never be at the things that matter the least. I'll also throw in a line in there and say that the ability to prioritize to ensure that your focus is your main focus is the attribute of a developed mind. You will not believe how difficult it is. You might take it for granted, but it shows a lot of maturity and development if you are able to outline your priorities and if they make sense to what your goals are. Because your priorities will determine how you allocate your time and your resources. This slide will just go on through, and but it's just to espouse some of the knowledge out there to some of the things that I've said. And the first one was made popular by Socrates, but it's actually from Greek mythology. And it says, man, know thyself. In some form, this is a SWOT analysis that we spoke about. If you do not know anything, you should at least know yourself. You should know what your strengths are, what your weaknesses are, what your distractions are. And we'll come back to the term of distractions. You should know what is toxic to you, what is healthy for you. And this also goes with your relationship and how you associate with people. So if you know all this, then you're able to choose at any given time based on what you are trying to achieve. And we'll come back onto this. What we would like to start putting across from this particular set of quotes is that you need to be able to spend some time to be aware of yourself. No one can know you more than you know you. If you take time to think about yourself. Another way to put it, I like to use this anecdote sometimes. You need to advise yourself. And I need to look out of yourself to look in. You need to act like you are your closest friend, and then share your own opinion with yourself and be truthful to yourself while you are doing this. We'll come back to some of these concepts later, but I'll continue along this line. So on this conversation that we're having on this Sunday afternoon, wherever it is you are, what I'd like you to be, as you're listening, what I'd like you to be thinking as well, in like an exercise mode, is you be thinking to yourself, who actually am I? So some of the names I've seen in the comments, none comes to mind at the moment. So who are you to yourself? What things are important to you? What do you know about yourself? You may be able to answer your question of what is your name, what is your address, what is your age, where are you from, who are your parents? But what other things, like what do I like? What are my values? What do I want to affect? What is important to me? And some of the things that I put on here, I said education is important to me. I would like my kids to get a good education. Honesty and integrity is important to me. I like to tell the truth as far as I'm able. I believe in hard work. I don't want to be lazy. If you would say to me, I would give you this amount of money, I don't have to work a day in your life. I might take the money, but I won't stop working, because work does not actually mean the work you go to. It could be work in areas or influences that you believe in. My family is important to me, but this is me. Self-awareness is an awareness of your own personality, your own individuality. There is no other person in the world that is you. So who am I? Who are you? Do you know? Have you met you? Have you taken the time to ask yourself these questions? If you have, excellent. If you are not, if you haven't, you should. And some of the benefits, I won't read all this. And somebody asked, will the slides be available? Yes, we can definitely work on that. Is that when you are self-aware, you know the skills you have, and especially when you're honest with yourself, you become a better leader. You become better able to manage your emotions. You're better able to avoid your derailers if you know what your weaknesses are. And there's another interesting story, an interesting anecdote. When people go to interviews and they ask them, what is your weakness? And I've had some interesting answers to that question. Some people say, I don't know. Some people say, I have no weaknesses. And you get a variety of answers. It doesn't mean that you can share your weaknesses with everyone, let alone at an interview. That's another discussion point. But I'm sure other trainers are going to discuss that with you. But the point I'm making with that little story is, when there's nobody in the room, do you know you? Do you know your strengths? Do you know your weaknesses? Do you know the things that might derail you that you need to avoid? On that reflective note, we pause for some exercises. I will again monitor the comments at this part. And I would like us to share some of the ones that you want to share. If you feel free to share them. If you don't feel free to share them, it's also okay. You don't have to share. But if you want to share, you can please share in the comment section. So what is important to me? Not to me as a person, as Seun Ajayi, as to you, the person, what's important to you? Do you know why those things are important to you? Think about other things in life that are important to you and why. I put some of what may be important to me, and but mine does not need to be yours, and mine cannot even be yours actually. So I would like to see some comments. I think it might be, I'm not seeing the screen, Victoria, if you are listening, is because the other screen is still on backstage. Maybe you should make it live, the second Seun Ajayi, and then I can see it on the screen. So I go on, but I would like us to be in that word I've used so much, that word I've used so much in the presentation. I would like us to be in that reflective state. I would like us to, in the privacy of our rooms, whatever we're watching, to ask ourselves these questions. And if we know the answer and we want to share, we can please share. And if we don't even want to share, it's also good, but please think about them. Let's be in that reflective state. Some other things could be also important to you. And this slide is in the form of an exercise. You can mentally tick what you think is important to you. My health, the environment, money. We get that a lot. Money. I'll say something about that as the presentation goes forward. My time. If you have all the money and you don't have any time, it might not feel so great. Travel is important for some folks. Having a vehicle, owning a house, a good education, helping folks, learning new skills, having no job stress, career advancement, independent thinking, independent minds, being independent. Working with others is important to some folks who are socially extroverted. But what is important to you as a person? I see Bola Odumosu. Excellent. I see what you're saying. I totally agree with you. So
sir, can you see the comments?
Yes, I can. I see blessing.
Not the one on the screen. I mean the full comments from the live.
When I look at my other screen, I can see the full comment from the live. What's important to me? Laura Utume, career, success in set goals, integrity. Yeah, so I see them coming in now. Thank you. It wasn't like that previously. Thanks for enabling the second screen. So I keep going, guys. So what is important to you? Because if you please backtrack in your mind to our definition, these things that are important to you will be what sets your desired goals, and what sets your desired goals are what you're going to measure your effectiveness against. And there's a point on this slide that is very important. You do not need to have all the answers now. Don't pressure yourself. If you are still evolving, that's also okay. So what is important to you? Let's pause on that for a moment. And then let's think about life as a journey. We have X amount of years. We don't know how long it is. And at the end of that journey, looking back, what would you want to have affected, impacted? And this is part I might talk about money a little bit. I'll talk about it later on. You will find that, and I don't know how many of us have heard about what we call the Maslow hierarchy of needs. That yes, money is important, but usually when you are at the end of life, you find out that money is not the thing that will rank as highest importance to you. There will be other things that will come to you at that point. And if you start having that sort of mindset now, it will even help your relationship with money and your values. So we go on. I'm going to play a short video. I hope you can hear it clearly. If you can't hear it, you can at your own time you can go and look up L. Nightingale. And why I'm playing it to be apparent, because I just want us to listen to the third minute of this long, I think about 21 minutes in all, but I only want us to listen to the third minute. So I hope the link works. If it doesn't work, I will just summarize, but you can also listen to it because the link is there.
This means that any person who knows what he's doing and where he's going is a success. Any person with a goal toward which he's working is a successful person. This means that the boy in high school who's working towards a diploma, the boy in college for a degree, is just as successful as any human being on earth. Because he knows what he's doing. He's giving it
Okay, so I don't know if you heard that, but if you don't, I will still summarize in any case. Like I mentioned, you can always go to the video itself. So L. Nightingale was espousing the fact and defining success, that success is anyone that knows what his goals are and working towards it is already a success. Achievement of that goal is not what defines success. Is that you are clear in your mind of what you want to do and you are working towards it. That's a success. So he gave the example like an high school student, that if you're in high school and you know you want to finish high school is your goal and you're going to high school every day, you're already a success. If I espouse that to someone that just finished work, finished school looking for work, I'm trying to get a job. I'm putting my CVs out there. And I'm putting 4 CVs out every week. And I have qualifications already to achieve that goal. It doesn't mean that until I get that job that I'm a success. By that definition, I'm already on the way or working towards success. So it's not exactly, I'm sure, how we define our success. That's why I said definition sometimes is everything. Again, if we have time, I'll come back to that particular point. But again, remember our our key for our slides. If you see a light bulb, something to reflect about, please think about this. How do you measure effectiveness? How do you measure success? And we'll give some examples. For a football striker, we said it could be goals scored, number of assists. For the footballing folks, they will know what that means. Someone assists somebody to score a goal. Team outcome. If you're scoring many goals and your team is not winning, would you still say it's a success? Or won't you be expected to score more goals than the other team? For a traffic warden, what is effectiveness? The folks we call yellow fever in Nigeria, if you know what I mean. Is this the ease of flow of traffic? It could be. For a teacher, what is effectiveness? It could be success rates of the pupils, the behavior of the pupils, the morals, the politeness. For the religious leader, it could be the understanding of the gospel, how they imbibe it in their personal life. The size of the congregation, is that really success? Arguably. Our parents, what is success for them? Is it how we turned out? Is it that we're happy? Is it until we get a profession before they say they're successful? Or is it if we get rich? I put question marks in all this for a reason. For governments, how do you measure effectiveness? And this is poignant even maybe for the Nigerian government. So we said ability to provide your citizenry basic needs, infrastructural, medical, good schools to send their kids to, security, development, human rights and freedom. I can say what I want, how I want without fear. So we said this could be measures of effectiveness, and some of which we're asking in a question form. So now if we take it back to our reflection, to the individual, to you listening as an individual, what could be a measure of effectiveness? Is it how well you achieve the goals that you set yourself based on your values, based on what you consider as important? Would you agree that's a measure of effectiveness? If you agree or don't agree, let me know in the comment section. I mentioned I was talking about money again, and I thought it's important to see this, what we call the Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Forgive me some parts when if I delve into something of psychology or because really this is all kind of a topic that is kind of some philosophy goes into it. And Maslow wrote this paper in 1943. He said the theory of human motivation. And what it says basically, in if I paraphrase to simplify, is that when human basic needs are satisfied, they can strive for an higher amount of actualization. And then things like self-esteem, social status, safety, self-actualization is at the tip of it, comes into play. And when you are self-actualized, it means that you have reached a high amount of personal effectiveness. If you go on the flip side, it also means when citizens don't have the basic needs, if they don't have food, they don't have shelter, they are not able to self-actualize. They're not even able to start thinking of self-actualization. So if some of our basic needs, if some of our desires are coming towards money, food, shelter, it may mean that we need to start working as a society to provide people the basics so that they can actualize, they can be themselves. Because guess what? The world is waiting for the talents and skill that is imbibed in all of you. Because if we get all of you with the various talents and the various skill inherent in all of you to manifest, then we have doctors out there, we have nurses out there, we have poets out there, we have speakers out there, we have bankers out there, we have builders out there. And all these people, if they self-actualize, it raises our society to the optimum. So when we're talking personal effectiveness, I would like us to be looking at self-actualization. And from Maslow's theory, depending on where we are in our different stories, if we're still in the physiological level, it is difficult to even start breaking that barrier of thinking self-actualization, because you are thinking at the moment, where's next meal? But hopefully, if you put in and learn and practice and enhance your personal effectiveness, you can break that barrier and start thinking of your own safety, your own social, your own esteem, and then self-actualize. Again, we will not be able to finish this subject in one chat. You can always read up on this, the articles on the internet or books on this subject. And you can even disagree with this because it's just psychology. It's philosophical. It's perceptive. So again, we go to the point that says what is important to you. And some of the comments I read, most of it is written on here: social status, good health, love, family support, spirituality, self-development, goals and ambitions. Free to think, act, do based on your own desires, your own ideals. Why is this important? Because this is what will help you set your goals if you don't already have them, or help you challenge your current goals if you have goals. I'd like to get comments to see if you are with me. And it's interesting where we are now. We are at the part of the slide where we come to a particular gentleman's description. This is a CEO of Coca-Cola at the time, Brian Dyson, and he expresses what is important to him in the most unique form. And I learned from this, and I would like to share this as well. So by Brian Dyson's perception, he says, all of us, we're all juggling balls. He says, imagine life as a game in which you are juggling 5 balls in the air. Some of us might have more than 5 balls. Some of us might have fewer than 5 balls. In his own perception, he says the 5 balls are work, family, health, friends, and spiritual. And you are keeping all these balls in the air. You are juggling. You will soon understand that work is a rubber ball. If you drop it, it can bounce back. Career is a rubber ball. But the other 4 balls, family, health, friends, and spiritual, are made of glass. Meaning, if you drop one of them, they might be irrevocably scuffed, marked, nicked, damaged, or shattered. They may never be the same again. If you drop a marriage, if you get divorced, it's okay to be divorced if you are. I'm not saying it's not, but it's a broken glass. You can marry again, obviously, but it's not the same. So that is his own point. And I think it's quite interesting what he puts across, because life is a constant juggle. And guess when we stop juggling? I would like the answer in the comment section for people to tell me or share with us when you think we stop juggling. It's interesting, this remark. It says, and I'd like us to listen carefully, value as a value only if its value is valued. I'll repeat, value as a value only if its inherent value is valued. I'd like us to think about that. I would explain later if there are comments to that. So we go on. We title this slide Extenuating Circumstances. And it's an interesting slide. And we take it back to what we were describing previously. You know, when we talk of different spheres, how you measure effectiveness of those different spheres, and what might be the extenuating circumstances in those different spheres. If I break it down, what might be the challenges faced? So for a football striker, we said effectiveness to be measured by goals scored, number of assists, team outcome. Excuse me. E.g. wins. But what could be is challenges. A tall and quick defender. If you follow football, Van Dijk is a good example. He plays for Liverpool FC. A good goalkeeper. Alisson, Liverpool FC. About a partial referee, faulty pitch, harsh environmental conditions, etc. For a traffic warden, we said you could measure his effectiveness by the ease of flow of traffic. The guys we call yellow fever in Lagos, in Nigeria, for instance. What could be their extenuating circumstances? Poor road network, overpopulation, urban congestion, keke marwa that has just been recently banned, etc. For a teacher, we said, how could we measure effectiveness, success rate of the pupils, behaviors of the pupils, moral, politeness? What could be a challenge? Overcrowded classes, unruly pupils, children from economically disadvantaged or challenged background, etc. For a religious leader, we said we could measure his effectiveness by how how we ease our congregation understand the gospel, how they imbibe it into their personal life. The size of the congregation, we said, we debated if that is a kind of measure of effectiveness. But what could be challenges? Society could be a challenge. Religious intolerance could be a challenge. Social media could be a challenge. Lack of commitment from the congregants could be a challenge, etc. Our parents, we said, how do we measure their effectiveness? Is it how we turned out? Is it our profession? We debated that. Is it only when we get rich? We debated that. Happiness, that we didn't debate, or at least I didn't say that. I didn't think that was debatable. What could be their challenges? Society, teenage rebellion, peer pressure, poor economic conditions, separation, maybe within the nuclear family, etc. Government, we said we could measure their effectiveness. Victoria, you want to tell me something? Government, we said we could measure their effectiveness by basic needs, infrastructure, medical, schools, security, development, human rights and freedoms. But they could have challenges as in society, corruption. We know all about that, don't we? Politics, politicians, this could be challenges. Culture of impunity, nepotism, military interference, historically, etc. Now let's bring all this home. And remember, there's a light bulb on this particular slide, which means it's a reflective slide. I want us to think about this. What could be extenuating circumstances for the individual? We said we could measure your effectiveness by how well did you achieve goals that you set for yourself based on what you consider as important, your value system. What could be your own extenuating circumstance? What are your own challenges? What are your own blockages? What is your own etc.? Please share in the comment section if you are so inclined.
Okay. Thank you so much, sir. We are running out of time. It has been a really, really amazing session, sir. Hello.
How many minutes have I got? Or we are at the end of it?
Okay. Yes, we are at the very tail end of this session. Probably you just wrap it up with a few words. Thank you very much, sir.
Okay, so how many minutes have I got in total? If you can tell me, I can plan the closing.
Okay, sir. So we've got like 2 more minutes to go because the section is supposed to have ended by 6:30.
Okay, excellent.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so I'll finish up in 2 minutes. Thank you.
Yes,
okay.
Although they are crying that they want more time, but unfortunately we have another section today.
Oh, okay. No, it's fine enough. We'll see what we do in 2 minutes, and we'll make the slide available. So I'll close out with 2 minutes in this first minute. You will agree with me if you look at the striker, that if a striker came to tell that the reason he didn't score goals was that they had taller defenders who were faster and there was a good goalkeeper, you would not totally accept that. So if you agree that shouldn't matter in the above, beyond just making it a bit more ineffective, why should the challenges and the circumstances matter in your own story? So there's always going to be a barrier. Personal effectiveness is about overcoming the challenges on the road to success. So as we have only 2 more minutes, I'll be 1 more minute maybe now. I will scroll right to the I'll scroll right to the end, and there's a video that I would like to play. If you don't see it, you can always Google it. It's by Clay Christensen, and this is his own view. and then I will say a few short words and close.
With God. My interview with God at the end of my life, He's not going to ask to show me how high I went in anybody's org chart, or how much money I left behind in the bank when I die. But rather, He's going to say, "Oh, Clay, I put you in that circumstance. Now, can we talk about the individual people whose lives you helped to become better people?" You're blessed because you used the talents I gave you to help them. And I realized that that's the way God wants you in life. Is
So I'm going to pause and give us, I'll help you add that. If you didn't hear it, go to Clay Christensen. I'm going to close with this because I don't want to just be over our heads. What can we do? Positive habits and practical steps. We need to read more books. There's a way they say it. Books are the way you install software into your brain, into your lives. You need to spend some alone time every day. Reflect, be truthful to yourself. You need to focus and prune your timeline of what are your distractions. Is it social media? Is it your phone? You need to develop positive, critical thinking. So I'll leave you with this. Start that new business. Learn that new language. Remember that you are your best investment. And you will not be 100% effective because it will not be the end of any journey. You only get increasingly better. So we're out of time. I'm really, really sorry. I thought we were going to have some time to maybe to set up and all that. We'll share the slides with the Skills Africa. It was enriching for me. I hope it was the same for you. There's so many books you can read on this sort of subjects, and they'll be helpful for you. So I'm going to pause here, Augustine, if I got your name right. So thank you, everyone, for.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you very much. That was the bomb. Skill Factory Africa, Sabi Gang. There's a way we do this. I would like you to give a soft copy round of applause to our facilitator right now. Let me see those hands. A soft copy round of applause. So keep the claps coming. Thank you very much, sir. We're grateful for the insight. It was in depth. It was just amazing, and there's a lot we're going to take from this, and to just think that we're going to have a slide attached to this. Oh my God, that is mind blowing. Thank you so much, sir. We're very, very grateful, and the promise we're making to you as the Sabi Nation is that we are going to work with this information and become better than we are now. Thank you so much, sir. We are grateful. Sabi Gang, keep the applause coming. Keep the applause coming. Thank you so much, sir. We are grateful. Please. Okay. The slides will be made available to be communicated to you on the channel. Thank you so much, sir. We are grateful for this opportunity. Thank you very, very much. Thank you explicitly. Thank you so much.
Bye, everyone. It was a pleasure.
Thank you so much. Thank you very much, sir. Okay, that was Dr. Seun Ajayi taking us through personal effectiveness. I am certain that there's a lot we've gotten from his session, and it is not over yet. Ladies and gentlemen, we are having the very last session for today, the very last session for the day, and we have a firebrand, an impact making facilitator on board waiting to just connect with you and transmit that flame. So, ladies and gentlemen, sit back. You can get water, get whatever energy drink you can lay your hands on. Just if you're going to brush and take your bath, go take your bath because in a few minutes we're going to be back online and we're going to close with the banger. Sabi gang, do well to follow Skill Factory Africa on Instagram at Skill Factory Africa. Skill Factory Africa. Follow us on Instagram and ensure that you are on the channel. Ensure that you are on the channel. Ensure that you are on the channel. Today happens to be the third day, and this was the third session, so it was wonderful. Imagine what the fourth wave will look like. Thank you so much. My name is Augustine the Mike and I'll be back by 7 p.m. for the bomb, for the blast. Until then, stay locked down and